Dimitry Bivol is the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world after beating Artur Beterbiev via decision. Obviously, I did watch the fight live, guys, and I was going to do my reaction and, whatnot. But I've just been so busy, been trying to catch up with sleep. And, yeah. But anyways, let's get into the fight. There was a lot of changes from both fighters in the rematch. But I think Bivol made the better adjustments. And I'm going to be honest here, because I watched it with my brother. And obviously my brother is a boxer. So he obviously understands the boxing game a bit better than me. But with that being said, I was saying to my brother that watching both of them in this rematch, I feel like there's a lot, not even a lot, I feel like there's little tweaks both fighters could make to add to their arsenal. And I feel like if these little tweaks would make them 10 times better. And I don't think it's actually anything big, the little tweaks. Like, for example, Bivol, I don't really feel like Bivol sits down on his punches, but it's because he's got that Soviet style where he's got the rhythm, he's always moving and he's throwing. He can throw as he's moving, you know what I mean? It's that Soviet style, which is a good style. Like, even me, there's elements of that style that I'm going to start incorporating into my fighting style. Obviously, it will be a lot different because it's MMA that I do. But yeah, I feel like if Bivol sat down on his punches a bit more, he would hurt a lot more guys. But apart from that, I don't really think Bivol needs to change anything other than sometimes sit down on your punches. That's the only thing I think. Because some of the counters he was catching Beterbiev with, I don't think he would have necessarily stopped Beterbiev. But if that was someone else, definitely you could stop them if you're sitting down on your punches with them counters. And then on the flip side, Beterbiev, I feel like Beterbiev, for someone that's got very good... What the fuck is that? Sorry, guys, I felt something fucking on my leg. But for someone that has a lot of power, he doesn't really have any setups. Like, Beterbiev's style is very basic, in my opinion. Which there's nothing wrong with that, because the basics do win you fights. The fundamentals do win you fights, and the fundamentals and basics do take you far. Because at the end of the day, if you can't master the fundamentals and basics, I'll be honest, you're fucked. But I feel like if Beterbiev added feints to his game, it would be a game changer. Because especially when you're fighting someone like Bivol, you can't just... Beterbiev was just basically just walking forward. They was battling for... what's the words? Where I'm not a boxer and I haven't been around boxers for a while. I've forgotten what they call it, but they're battling for... They're battling feet. So Beterbiev needed to get his feet on the outside of Bivol's lead leg, but most of the fight, he was Beterbiev's front foot was on the inside of Bivol's, whereas it needs to be on the outside. But that's not even a major, to be honest. I just feel like if Beterbiev added feints to his game, like, imagine, like, cool, Bivol's got very good rhythm. He was good at countering, and he's got a very good style. And I'll be real, his defense is very good. Like, his shell is very, very good. Nothing really gets through. But imagine if a man like Beterbiev was throwing feints, fake the right, bang. You know what I mean? There's no setups. With Beterbiev, as much as he's done very, very well for himself, and he's a good boxer, don't get me wrong, but this little tweak, if I was around him, I would say, why don't you add that to your arsenal? Obviously, he's a 40-year-old man, so it's hard to unlearn and learn certain things. And there's only so much the body can take. But imagine if a man like Beterbiev that has knockout power through feints. Imagine. Like, imagine if he threw feints against Bivol. I'm not saying it would be a completely different fight, but just imagine. Imagine you get a man like Bivol who's got good rhythm, technically good, has good footwork. Imagine if you can get a man like that bite into your feints. Openings will come. Because imagine you're throwing the feints. He might drop his hand or he might try parry shot. Bam! Do you know what I mean? Those of you that know what I mean, you know what I mean. And it doesn't really need to be explained. Those of you, some of you are going to talk shit in the comments and be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Why are you talking on an elite boxer? You've not achieved nothing in your life. Yeah, sure, he's an elite boxer, but I'm just giving my opinion. I could be wrong, but like I said, with a man like Beterbiev that has power, I feel like feints need to be a part of his arsenal. But anyways, talking the fight was still a very close fight. It's just, I feel like in the exchanges, Bivol got the better of Beterbiev. He was landing the cleaner punches, and obviously Bivol won. I can't really remember too much, like round for round, but I would say Bivol took the early rounds, then Beterbiev stole the middle rounds, and then the later rounds, I'd say the last 4 rounds, they were still quite close, but Bivol just edged it because Bivol was doing more. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if Beterbiev throws a 1-2, Bivol's throwing a 1-2 and a hook back, so he's doing more and he's landing the shots. Do you get what I mean? So Bivol was doing more and landing more. So that essentially won him the fight. And Beterbiev didn't really land cleanly. I think going into a trilogy, I think Beterbiev is the one, out of the two, I think Beterbiev is the one that has to make some sort of adjustments. It can be done. Will he do it? We don't know. But yeah, good fight overall. I would have had the scorecards a lot closer than what they were. Obviously, one judge scored it 114 to 114. Then another scored it, I think, 114 to 112 or 110. And then the last scorecard, I didn't agree with that at all. I think it was something like 116 to 111. I don't agree with that. I still feel like as much as Bivol was getting the better shots off and he did more, I do feel like it was still a very close fight. And to be honest, I don't know if I really want to see a trilogy, man, because all these back-to-back trilogies just fuck up the game, man. But, I mean, if that's what's got to be done, then that's what's got to be done. Some people are calling for Bivol versus Benavidez, but I'm not being funny. What has Benavidez really done to get a title shot at the Undisputed belts? But I got to give it to Bivol. Very good style. He's got a very good rhythm. He made the right adjustments in this fight. And to be honest, it looked like he was the one that had the setups. And he doesn't even have the power. Do you know what I mean? But it's not even about power. What we need to understand is boxing is a chess match. And like one of the commentators said it, when you have 2 high-level boxers like Bivol and Beterbiev, it's kind of like you have one round, you take off, then the next round, the other fighter takes that round off. Because it's like, forget physically, mentally, that's a lot, you know, for 12 rounds. To go 12 rounds and to be constantly using your brain thinking, because you have to. Because think about it, when you play chess, you're constantly thinking, I make that move, if I move that there, that could happen, that could happen. So you got to calculate in your head as you're fighting. And when you have 2 high-level fighters like that, yeah, mentally it's draining. So, I mean, if they do the rematch, I don't want to see that until closer towards the end of the year. Obviously, it was 4 months between their rematch and their last fight. So yeah, give us the fight end of the year, maybe December times. If someone was to ask me who do I see winning in the trilogy, if I'm completely honest, I like Beterbiev. I'm more of a Beterbiev fan than Dimitry Bivol, but I would probably give it to Bivol. I'm not going to lie to you guys, because I just don't. Unless Beterbiev adds some feints and, adjust differently, then I don't know, man, because I feel like Bivol is just technically a bit better BF. But we'll see, man. Overall, it was a good card. I didn't get to watch all the whole card because I was a bit busy. I had to meal prep and whatnot. But quickly, before I go, because I nearly forgot as well. Fam. Martin Bakuli. Martin Bakuli. Hey, guys, I'm not even gonna lie. Shouts out to Joseph Parker, man, because I picked Martin Bakoli to win. Oh, yeah, guys, I have to make sure I say Bakoli's name right, because in the last video I didn't say it right, and some people were chatting shit in the comments. Oh, you didn't say his name right, to talk about his pedigree. This, bro, some of you guys in the comments, suck your mum, because I don't give a shit. I will still continue to post my content. If you don't like it, suck your mother, because I don't give a fucks. And let me tell you something. If you don't like what I'm saying or what I'm doing, don't watch me. But guess what? If your mama was watching me, she would like me, because I am an ogre. But yeah, sorry guys, I had to quickly run out and do something. But Martin Bakole, boy, Joseph Parker made you do the chicken dance, and that was peak. I can't even lie, that was actually peak. I feel like Joseph was starting to feel the pressure a little bit. What round did he stop him in? I think it was the second round. Bakole got stopped. Let me even double check that, because I'm not going to tell people what exactly I was doing that night, but I literally looked down to do something, and then all I heard was the commotion, and yeah, Bakole was out. Let's see. But I'll be honest, yeah, it looked like yeah, it was round 2. It honestly, guys, it looked like Bakole was starting to get into his, not necessarily his rhythm, but he was starting to feel himself. He was feeling the occasion, and honestly, he was pressuring Parker quite a lot. He landed a few shots. I think he even bust Parker's nose a bit, and why for that? Because I know some of you are gonna say, "Oh, you said bust," but if you're from England, you know what I'm talking about. Like, he bust his nose in it. No diddy shit. But yeah, he bust Parker's nose. He was applying a bit of pressure. He landed some good shots, landed a few good uppercuts, and then boom, out of nowhere, Parker just landed the overhand right. But I'll give it to Joseph Parker. Like, man, the shot landed right on the temple, like right there. And I'll be honest, guys, if you get touched on why for that? If you get hit on the temple cleanly with enough power, I'll be honest, that can happen to anyone. And you know what? Going forward, anybody that takes a fight on short notice, I'm never putting faith in you again. Because I don't even know why I did. Because I got to remember that, because most fighters don't stay in shape. Most fighters out of camp, they go up in weight, they live a bit unhealthy. Not necessarily unhealthy, but not as healthy as they would be during camp. And for me, I don't think that's the way you should be as a professional fighter. But I mean, each to their own. But just with that being said, I'm never betting. I didn't even bet that fight. And good, I didn't. Good, I did not. But yeah, any last minute replacements, I'm not picking the last minute replacements to win ever again. Fuck that shit. It just doesn't make sense, because they haven't had time to train. And I know most of these fighters are not like the elite fighters who constantly watch film study. So it's not even like you're going into the fight prepared or knowing what your opponent's capable of. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, going forward, I'm never picking last minute replacements to win. But shouts out to Joseph Parker. And quickly, I'm just going to touch on this one quickly because I don't actually care for this fighter. I didn't even watch the fight. Or I watched it a little piece. Like, I saw little bits here and there because I had it on my phone when I was out. And yeah, Shakur Stevenson versus what was his name? I've forgotten his name. Something, is it Joseph? Let's check that. Yeah, Josh Padley. Bruv, I ain't gonna lie. Shakur, it took you that long to stop a man that has come in on short notice. He's an electrician. Yeah? He literally got there, I think, the day before the fight. And Shakur, my friends, anybody that fucking, all of you that are saying he will beat Tank, Oloru Baba, you have no fucking sense. No sense at all. You think Shakur is going to fight like that and beat, yay. Anybody that thinks that, there's something wrong with your brain. Because Tank is a way better technical fighter than that Josh Padley guy. Although shouts out to Josh Padley, he's from the UK as well, so I got to big him up. He came in on short notice and he tried his best to go to 12 rounds. Do you know what I mean? So shouts out to him. But Shakur gets dealt with by Tank, man. I'll be honest. I don't. That was the first fight of Shakur's I actually watched live. I've seen a few of his highlights, but I'll be honest with you guys, I wouldn't pay to watch Shakur. And that's just me. But yeah, with that being said, we look forward to the trilogy of Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitry Bivol. And I hope you guys enjoyed the fight. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. It's Big Yems and I'm out. And Shakur Stevenson, you're a bitch. Shout out my UK brother, Josh Padley. You know the tune.